Hello again to Dr. English. This is Dr. Mafi, a PhD in Applied Linguistics, and I've been teaching English for many years now. Today's lesson is also very important. It's actually present tense, as you can see. Present tense, simple present tense. We already talked about 12 English tenses in active voices, right? Well, 8 of them can change into passive voices. But today, what we're going to focus on is only present tense and in what situations or when we use present tense. These are 3 reasons that we use present tense for, okay? First of all, I start with facts. Facts. Whenever you're about to give information that is already proven by science, our knowledge tells us or approves of it as something quite scientifically proven. Like what? Like, for example, water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. We use present tense, not present tense, present continuous tense, or present, for example, perfect tense. We don't use that for facts. For facts, only we use present tense. Why? Because it stays true throughout time until proven otherwise by science or proven wrong again, right? So if it is proven wrong, at that time, they use that, for example, piece of information as they hold true, okay? Anyway, so we use present tense, like boil, not boiling, not boiled, past tense. Only we use simple present tense. Whether we use it in an affirmative, positive form, or negative form, or questions, it doesn't matter. So water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. Water doesn't boil at, for example, 95 degrees centigrade, right? It doesn't boil. Still, I use present tense for facts. Or it doesn't freeze, the water doesn't freeze at the room temperature. The room temperature, unless you're living somewhere quite cold, like in Antarctica or let's say in the North Pole or somewhere like in Canada, for example, in winter, that the room temperature is even below freezing temperature, all right? So it's kind of actually, or it's a lot cold, and then so everything freezes, right? And the second reason for which we use present tense is habits, right? When you're talking about habits, like jobs, for example, the things that we do every day, the things that we always do, like routine things, right? Like chores that we do every day, every night. For example, I watch television at night. I watch television at night or every night. It means that this is a thing that I do every day or every night, right? It's a routine thing that I do. I made a habit of doing it. So I use present tense for it. Like the children brush their teeth every night after dinner, right? Every night after dinner, for example, they brush. Not brushing, not brushed, not will brush, right? Only simple present tense for habits, okay? Or, for example, some of them don't, or a few or bad children don't brush their teeth. I use the negative one. Do you brush your teeth every night? Do you? Again, I use a present tense, but in a question form, in an interrogative form, okay? I'm an English teacher. I talk about my jobs. Job is a kind of habit. I do it every day, right? So I'm an English teacher. Am. What is this am? To be form. Am is are. Not was were, not will be, right? So am is are is a present form. It's a simple present tense of the verb to be. One of the to be forms is am is are in the form of present tense. So for jobs, I use I'm an English teacher or I teach English. It means that this is my job, like I do every day, okay? Or are you a nurse? This is the question form. You put am or are or is, and you put it at the beginning of the sentence. You bring it to the beginning of the sentence and you make a question, right? So, are you a nurse? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Very easy. This is the short answer for to be forms. But for them, but for the other verbs, such as brush, do you, I said do you, do bad children brush their teeth? So I use do at the beginning. Do or does. Do or does for the other verbs rather than to-be forms, okay? Like this one. For example, for the third reason that we use present tense for is timetables, for schedules. Like at the airport, you see the departures board. Or at the train station, right? You see there are some boards showing, for example, what time a train leaves a gate or a platform, right? Or somewhere, like a railroad, a rail track, okay? So, or an airport, actually. At an airport, the plane leaves or departs, well, the airport, for example, at 8 o'clock. But I put it in the form of question. Does the plane depart or leave the airport at 8 a.m., for example, every day? Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. This is the way we give short answers. Either yes or no, huh? So I brought does because it was one plane, their plane, not planes, right? So I use does. Why? Because of depart. This verb is not a to-be form. It's not am, is, are. So if it is not, auxiliary verbs, right? And we don't have any modal verbs, so what do we use to make a question? Does or do, right? Does the plane depart? If it was planes, then I should have asked, do the planes depart the airport? Do the planes depart the airport? Yes, they do. No, they don't. That's the way we give short answers, all right? So these are basically the three reasons, the most important reasons why we use present tense or simple present tense in English. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments, you can drop them in the comments section below.